We're going to do some super fun training. A couple things before we get started. What I do recommend is you do try to watch the entire video in one sitting, all the way in its entirety. So try to go through the whole entire thing and go all the way to the end, and just keep it light, keep it fun. Try to trust what you're getting as I'm taking you through these exercises and these processes. And also on your attachments, you should see a sheet that looks something similar to this. Feel free to print this out. And you don't have to print it out, but I do recommend if you can. It's a handout for you to have with you, and look forward to having some fun. So let's do it. All right, so a little bit about myself, just so you understand some of my background, is I've been training people out of channel for over 20 years now. This is what I do full-time for a living. I do one-on-one sessions, and I teach a whole bunch of trainings and workshops on a regular basis. And I'm so passionate about teaching people how to channel. You know why? Because in my opinion, channeling is the foundation to all spirituality. Because if you don't have channeling as a foundation, you're just kind of winging it, you're guessing, you're not quite sure, you're making up, like, you're making assumptions, or maybe it happens sporadically. But when you know how to channel, and you know how to channel at really advanced levels, then, and you could do it intentionally on purpose, and you could do it all the time, then imagine what you could do with that. Like, the possibilities are limitless. And so that's why I dedicate my life to this. My life's mission is to make this world a better place by teaching people how to channel. And with that, let's get started. All right, so I hope you got to feel that first spirit guide who came in. We're going to be channeling more spirit guides. So I'm going to do a little bit more training to help you get into a more conducive state to channeling. That's what we did. And then I'm going to teach you a couple more tricks and tips. So first thing I'm going to get you to do is, so again, don't do any of this yet. First thing I had you do was ground, center, channel using source energy. But there's a bit more advanced training that I can teach you now. So again, don't do it yet. I'll just get you to do it in a minute. I'll explain it first. I'm going to have you ask your spirit guides to temporarily step back. So just temporarily step back. I say temporary because you never want to ask your spirit guides to permanently step back. Just be like, hey, can you just temporarily step back for a moment? And why do I want to get you to do that? Is because of the next step that I'm going to have you do is sit in this spiritual silence. Let's try that again. Spiritual silence. So sometimes when asking your spirit guides to step back, sometimes, they're like, oh, but I don't really want to leave. I just want to stay by. Just say, hey, can you just for a moment, they're souls, right? Souls are kind of like souls. They're like people, right? So if you notice it, like you're sitting there and you're asking your spirit guides to temporarily step back, and you notice that they're not really leaving, just say, okay, just for now, just temporarily step far back, just for a bit. Because I really want you to be able to experience this, spiritual silence. Misspelled that. Let's try that again. There we go. That's better. Spiritual silence. Because in this nice silent state, you have no spirit guides around you. Okay? And then, after that, you're going to stay in the spiritual silence for a bit. And then what I'll do is I will get you to go ahead and invite one spirit guide to come in. Okay. Invite one spirit guide to come in. So for this step, I recommend that you don't decide. There is a time and place when, you have a relationship thing going on and you want to ask your relationship guide to come in, or you have a career thing going on at work or with your job or business or whatever it is, and you want to ask that specific guide to come in. That's totally fine. I can mention that a little bit later. But for this one, you have to remember that your spirit guides, they operate in the astral realm and they talk to each other. So they know which one you need the most right now in this moment. So for this exercise, I'm going to just suggest that instead of deciding and saying, oh, I want to invite this specific guide in, just say, okay, whichever guide wants to come in, you're welcome to come in. rather than trying to dictate which one you think should come in. Just let them, they're talking amongst themselves. They know which one you need the most. The next step that I'm going to do is once you have them come in, you're going to figure out where they are physically around you. So where is the location? Locate them. So locate your guide. Where are they physically around you? So let's say that your guide, you invite one to come in. Okay, where is the spirit guide? Oh, right here. Okay. So then what you do is you lock in on this guide. Now, the reason that I created this step is because what I noticed is over the years of teaching people how to channel is sometimes their minds are wandering wherever. So I had this one client one time. I was a vendor at a spirit expo, and this client came back, behind the booth, and I was like, okay, where's your spirit guide? And they're like, oh, right here. I go, good. Now, and they started channeling the spirit guide, and they were super accurate, doing really amazing, super awesome. I was like, wow, look at you. Look how great you're doing. But then like maybe 3 or 4 minutes into the channeling session, their accuracy started to wane and it was really off. And I was like, whoa, what just happened? So I had the person stop. I'm like, okay, stop. And they're like, what? And I'm like, where's your mind? And they're like, I don't know, just wherever. And I'm like, yeah, but where's your spirit guide? Well, right here. Yeah, but where's your mind? Well, just wherever. I'm like, no. Wherever your spirit guide is physically around you, that's where you want to lock in on that guide. You don't want your mind to wander, because where your guide is physically around you, when you lock in on them, then you're going to be able to get more accurate information. So think of it like you're in a dark room. And in that dark room, there's a candle flame. Well, where is that candle flame in the room? Well, the candle flame's where? In this example, it's right here. Good. So if your spirit guide's right here, you lock in on that guide like a candle. So your spirit guide's not a candle, but I'm just giving you that as an example, an analogy. Now, if your spirit guide is behind you, you don't have to do some weird poltergeist thing where you're looking behind you and turning your head or anything like that. So you just, in your mind, wherever they are. So if your guide is in this example, let's say your spirit guide's over here, what I don't want you to do is I don't want you to turn your physical body and looking at your guide. I want you to do it in your mind. The reason why is because I don't want you to get in the habit of thinking or feeling that you need to be always moving your body to look at your guide, because eventually I want to get you where you can channel with your eyes open, when you're having conversations with people, when you're talking, when you're living your everyday life. So, there'll be times when I was working corporate with the government, and I would be in a board meeting, and I'd be sitting there and I'd be like, channeling, because I always channel, right? But they don't know that's what I'm doing, because in corporate with the government, you're not allowed to talk about, anything spiritual or anything like that. But there'd be times when, my spirit guides or their spirit guides would be like, Ken, say this great idea. I'm like, what, really? Say this idea. I'm like, okay, sure. So I'm like, I have an idea. So all the like head honchos, like the CEOs and the managers, they turn and they all look at me, and then I'd share my idea, and they'd all stop and look at me like, wow, Ken, that's a great idea. Like, where did that come from? I'm like, oh, I don't know, it just kind of came to me, wink, wink, right? Meanwhile, I'm channeling their guides, my guides, and all that. And so in that kind of environment, it wouldn't be appropriate for me to go, oh, where's this guide? Oh, and all of a sudden, oh, where's it? Oh, they'd be like, what is Ken doing? Like, why is he not just sitting there normal like the rest of us? What is he doing? Like, he's looking around everywhere. No, so eventually where I want to get you is where you can channel anywhere. So if your spirit guide is here, it's okay, just here. If they're here, it's okay, just in your mind, they're here. Notice I'm not moving my body, I'm not moving my head. If they're behind you, it's okay, then that's where they are. You just tune into them behind you, and you start getting answers from them. But you want to locate where they are, and then lock in on them. If you notice your mind wandering, no big deal. Just, oh, where are they again? Oh yeah, they're over here. Okay, that's your focal point. You go back to where they are physically around you. Okay, so that's locate your guide. And then once you locate your guide, you just go ahead and increase your connection and start channeling. All right? So now we're going to bring it all together. And what I'm going to have you do is I'm going to have you go ahead and close your eyes again. Okay, so close your eyes. Sit up straight. Take a nice relaxing breath into your body. I say the word relaxing because what happens if we try too hard, it actually closes our channels. So we want to be nice and relaxed, nice and loose, and that helps to dilate the channels, keeps us nice and relaxed and engaged at the same time. Okay? Okay. All right. So now, before we do anything, I'm going to have you do something. I'm going to have you just feel your environment. Don't do anything yet. Just feel the environment. So you're not changing anything. And I want you to kind of just feel what you feel like, feel what your environment feels like, and just sort of get a baseline of what's going on spiritually in you and around you. Okay, good. So try to remember this, because the first thing I'm going to get you to do is go ahead and ask all your spirit guides to temporarily step far back. Go ahead and do this now. Good. Okay. Now go ahead and sit in the spiritual silence for a moment. Okay, so remember how earlier I said feel how you feel how your environment feels. How does your environment feel differently? How do you feel different now that all your spirit guides have temporarily stepped far back? Okay, and now keeping your eyes closed, without deciding who, you're going to go ahead and invite one spirit guide to come in. Go ahead and do this now. Good. Now, physically feel around you. Where in your vicinity, where in your room might the spirit guide be physically around you? Go ahead and locate them. Good. Now lock in on the spirit guide. Just go ahead and lock in on them. And what I'm going to get you to do now is, it doesn't matter which hand, just pick one hand. And I'm going to get you to take one of your hands and put your hand physically into your guide. So go ahead and do this now. And what do you feel with your hand when you do this? What are the tactile sensations? What do you notice? And again, if we had the highly sensitive camera system set up in your room, we'd be able to capture your spirit, you putting your hand into your spirit guide. Okay, now I'll get you to take your hand out of your spirit guide, but just keep it close to you. And then when you're ready, you can go ahead and put it back into your guide. And just feel how your hand feels, feel what you notice. What does their energy presence feel like? And then you could go ahead and take your hand in and out of your guide a few times. So go ahead and do this. Just feel what that feels like. Pretty cool, hey? Yeah, so like I said earlier, your spirit guides, they are real. They're people like you and I in non-physical form. They're members of your soul family. They're here to help and assist you. So how does this spirit guide feel different than the first one who came in? What is different about this one? How would you describe the presence of the spirit guide, their personality, their gender? Are they male or female? And any other details or characteristics about this spirit guide? Okay. Now remember how earlier I mentioned that each spirit guide helps in a different way, different area of your life. I don't want you to guess. I want you to feel into your spirit guide. What area of your life does this spirit guide help you in? Or areas? And what message might this spirit guide want to give you right now about this area of your life? Okay, just trust the answers you're getting. Okay, now if this spirit guide were to give you more details and expand on the message that it was trying to give you, what other details can this spirit guide give you right now in this moment about this message? Spirit guide to come in. And then how did you know where they were around you? So they came in, but how did you know? How did you know they were, here and not here or somewhere else? How did you know that? What did their presence feel like? How would you describe them? How are they different from your other spirit guide, the first one who came in? And what area of your life is this spirit guide here to help you with? And then any messages that it gave you.